Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and we are here looking at Manchester United 3, Southampton 1, and somehow, by some magic, Amad Diallo managed to pull what was a piss bloody poor performance across the board to 3 points, and I don't know how he did it. The tail of the tape was not a 3-1 game. We'll quickly go through the stats. 23 shots to 13 in Manchester United's favour, 9 on target to 5 on target for Southampton, a 60-40 split in the possession, 594 passes for Manchester United to Southampton's 406, an 84% pass accuracy to Southampton's 79, 7 fouls to Southampton's 10, 1 yellow for us, 3 for Southampton, no reds, 2 offsides for Manchester United, 4 corners apiece. That leaves the league table with Manchester United with their first win in the Premier League within 5 games, and leaves us in 12th spot with 26 points. Very much sat in mid-table. The most important thing is that we are now 10 points off of relegation. Which you might be sitting there thinking, why the hell are you thinking about that? Well, I'm going to tell you why I'm thinking about that. Because when you're in mid-table, the only thing you can think about is not being relegated. You can forget pushing to the top 7. You can forget it. Forget it. There is no top 7 football coming this year. Aston Villa are already 9 points ahead of us. We're not picking up 9 points that Aston Villa are going to drop. So you can forget that already. There will be no European football at Manchester United next year unless by some miracle we win the FA Cup, or by an even bigger miracle we win the Europa League. Neither of which, by the way, I can see happening. But let's talk about the game. I think the first half was piss poor. I was watching live on Twitch. If you do want to see me watch these games live, then I am normally on Twitch for the majority of them. You'll see my Twitch. It's right underneath there. Go and drop us a follow. You can watch the games along and you'll see my perspective on the game. But safe to say, after the first half, I was pissed off. And then when the goal went in, I just sat here and thought, what the fuck is going on? We're getting played off the park by the team who are in 20th. And for majority of the game, Southampton were very much comfortable within the game. It's only the last 10 minutes that they slipped up. And that's just because they're a pretty poor team. They're one of the poorest sides I've seen in the Premier League. But nevertheless, I think that there is a... well, I can't explain what happened yesterday. I can't explain what happened. The whole game was just piss poor. Onana kept us in the game. You know, if there was 2 performers that I'd pick out that won us that game, it was Onana by stopping a few going in, and it was Amad by putting a few goals in the back of the net. The rest of the team, you know, completely all over the place. Martinez, I'm going to see what the FootMob ratings are, actually, because I like to give my own ratings, but FootMob generally gives a fairly decent tale of the tape as to what's gone on. So it gave the man of the match to, I dread to think who it gave man of the match to, Amad, who got a 9.7. So it gave Onana a 7.7. I'd say that's fair. It gave De Ligt to the centre of the 3 a 7.7. I'd say that's fair. I think De Ligt has been our best defender all season. I don't really buy into this hype with Mazraoui, really. I find it, well, I'll talk about Mazraoui in a moment, but De Ligt was solid. I think Lenny had a decent game. I think, again, the weakest of the back 3 defensively is Martinez, and that's the reason why if I had an offer for Martinez come in, I'd be shipping him off on his way. Then we had the midfield 4. We had Mazraoui playing over off the left. I mean, he's out of position, being asked to do a job. He did okay. I think there were a few attacks down that side of the pitch. But listen, for me, I like Mazraoui in the back 3. If I was going to put a back 3 together, I'd have Mazraoui maybe at right centre-back, Lenny over at left centre-back, and De Ligt in the middle of the three, or maybe switch Mazraoui and Yoro, and I'd have a proper left wing-back in it, the left wing-back role. But he did a job yesterday, Mazraoui. Amad starts the game at right wing-back. I think when... what's his face? When Amorim first came in, I thought that Amad was going to be better suited to that right wing-back. Well, I've changed my mind. We can't afford to have him at right wing-back, because when you don't have him in that front three, you've got too many donkeys up there already doing absolutely nothing within a game. You need some spark. We only came alive when Amad was progressed up the pitch, so he has to be within that front three. There's no starting him at right wing back anymore. Luckily, the suspension to Dalot is only a one game, so he'll be back for the weekend. The midfield too, Ugarte and Mainoo, well, they were completely piss poor. They got absolutely played off the park by Aribo and Ogo Chokawu. I can't even pronounce his fucking name. They played him off the park. It was piss poor from both of them. You know, they've been solid for the last few games, but yesterday they had a fucking stinker. Bruno Fernandes yesterday, I don't think he was that crash hot either. And I don't really like him playing off the right-hand side of the two attacking tens. I think he looks a lot more comfortable playing off the left-hand side of the two attacking tens. And Amad over on the right-hand side. And when it made that switch, he looked slightly better. And then Rasmus up top. Oh no, I forgot. No, not Rasmus. Let's talk about Garnacho, actually. Shocking miss. I think Napoli were offering us 40 million. I think we've done right to reject that offer for 40 million. If they were to come in for 50, I'd bite their hand off. If it was 50 with 5 or 10 in add-ons, I'd have to take it. I'm afraid to say I don't buy into the hype with Garnacho. I think when you get him in that final third, when it comes to that killer edge in that final third, it's a heavy touch, it's a loose touch, it's a lack of composure. And you could say he's young, he's learning. Listen, we've got a lot of players in this club who are unmarketable and we can't sell. I could make a whole video about every single player in this club as to why they're unmarketable and why we will never sell them. And you will never sell the likes of Malacia, Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, Casemiro, Maguire, whoever else is in there, Marcus Rashford. You will never get any money for any of these players. They will all stay here until they go for free, ride out their big contracts. We'll send them out on loan to try and get a bit of the money off the wage book, to try and squeeze another player in, maybe add a bit more debt on, and then they'll go for free. And that's why Amorim needs time, because we cannot sell the players he doesn't want, because they are unsellable. No one's going to buy a dead horse at a horse market. No one's going to buy a dog at a dog market with 3 legs. No one's going to buy it. No one's going to buy them. These players are either washed up and over the hill, or on way too much money and overvalued by our club, and we will never get rid of them, because the argument will always be, we're selling at a loss, we don't want to sell at a loss, we'd rather try and help them take their career around. Let's send them out on loan and hopefully they'll rejuvenate their career. We tried that with Donny van der Beek. He had numerous loans, he was still crap, and he left for next to nothing. So yes, I would be taking a big offer for Garnacho. And then we have to talk about Rasmus Højlund. I don't know why Rasmus Højlund started yesterday. His form is absolutely piss poor. I think when Xerxes came on the pitch, we actually looked the better side. And that's because he can... As much as Rasmus and Xerxes have some of the same weaknesses, they're a bit of a plod along. They don't really press. I think that's a big problem with our front three when you've got Fernandes up there and Rasmus. You've only got Amad up there who's going to press. Rasmus is just a plod along. Xerxes a plod along, and Fernandes isn't that quick to do that much pressing. But yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why Rasmus Højlund started yesterday. I think Xerxes, after his performance against Arsenal, would have at least have deserved to start. But you know, maybe he'll start to the weekend. Substitutions that came on. We had Anthony who came on. Well, the less said about Anthony, the better. He was piss poor, missed an absolute sitter. But listen, there's no point coming out saying Anthony's piss poor. We already know he's piss poor. That's another player that we will never sell for any money. He's on way too much wages. We bought him for way too much money. I will always sit here and say that there is some investigation to be done about Ten Hag and the money he spent on Ajax players. But again, that's a conversation for another day. Xerxes came on and he was okay. And a player who's come back from injury and has been all right is Toby Collier. I think he comes in and you know what? He does he runs about. He looks promising. And I think he can do a job in that midfield. I really do. Could he benefit from a loan? Possibly. Will we end up loaning him? No, we won't, because we never loan any of our young players. What happens to our young players is they break into the team, they stay in the team for a year or two, we eventually work out they're actually not quite ready for the first team, and then they sit on the bench, we never loan them out, and eventually, guess what? They leave for free, because that's how we do business. We've only loaned out one player this transfer window, and it's Hugill, who was already out on loan, who we recalled and loaned him to another dross club who are no better than the one he was at. So there's that. And then Maguire came on with Christian Eriksen. Again, Eriksen is a bit like trying to flog a dead horse. I don't know why Eriksen's still here. He'll be gone in another 5 months, so you won't be seeing him for too much longer. But no, I wasn't impressed with the performance yesterday. I'm happy we got the 3 points and we needed the 3 points. But, I just think the mentality of these players is still very wrong. They turn up for the big games, and when it comes to these smaller ones, when the pressure's off with these players, when there's playing with little pressure, these players don't give a shit. They don't give a toss. They showed it. They showed that yesterday. They showed yesterday they don't give a toss. The pressure's off. They think, this will be another easy game. This will be another easy one. We won't turn up. No point turning up for this one, because this is going to be a walk in the park. And we don't turn up, and then we get knocked about by Southampton at home, which, I don't feel like they gave Southampton, enough credit, really. I think their Fernandes, the Fernandes guy was really promising in the first half, and their midfield played us off the park. If we have Ugarte and Mainoo performing like that, then we're going to have big problems. But we're moving on then to the next game. We've got Brighton next up at home. 2 o'clock kickoff on Sunday. I will be live for that game, watching it. So if anyone fancies watching along with me, then go and give us a follow down here, down there, on the Twitch. And we don't just do football watch-alongs there. We play a few games. All the gameplay that you see uploaded onto this channel all gets live streamed over on Twitch as well. So if you're someone who would rather watch live than watch the replay, then come and give us a follow. We're closing in on 1,000 followers on both platforms, so all the support would be much appreciated. But yeah, to round off from yesterday's game, a very bang average performance. The scoreline doesn't justify the game, but we got the 3 points, and at the moment, that's all I really care about. All I care about at the moment is getting these wins, securing our place in the Premier League for next season, hoping for a miracle in one of the cups, and we go again next year. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this one. Let me know what you thought about the game in the comments down below. Drop us a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.